What's up, guys? John.
Cam.
Welcome to another episode of Mothman Outdoors. Today we're going over the Dialed PRÜF and the Mathews UV Bridge Lock collab thingamabob. There's too many words for that name. So without further ado, Cam, tell these people about the site that you chose, your pros and cons, and why you like it.
So this is the Dialed PRÜF.
Right on.
Enter to get our giveaway.
You still giving one away?
100% free. All you gotta do is subscribe and follow us on Instagram.
That's
it. Both of those, we'll give you one away for free if we choose you.
That's it. On to the regular schedule program.
Yeah. I have had both sites. I've had a lot of sites. I've had Spot Hog, I've had CBE, I've had Dialed, I've had the exact Mathews Ultra View collab.
This exact site, in fact.
I prefer the Dialed for a few reasons. I lose a little bit of weight. This is a little bit heavier than Mathews. However, the ability to attach
Is it a noticeable weight difference?
Not really.
Okay, all right.
Not really. I'm a weak bitch and I can still feel a difference. The ability to attach a lens on the end of it, like a 2 times or 4 times or 6 times, you can get directly from Dialed for not that much. Helps me out, especially with my farther distance.
Okay.
I'm not blessed with 20/20 vision like my brother is.
What does it do? What is the lens attachment to?
It is like a magnification at the end of a scope. So I have a 2 times in here right now, and it's not that bad. It's really good for outdoors.
Do you have any complaints with the lens attachment?
No.
Really?
Surprisingly, no. Like, even when I get water on it, you can still see fine past the water droplets.
All right.
Honestly, it's like running an optic for a handgun or a rifle for a little bit of a distance.
Okay.
It would honestly be like having a red dot, and then if I want to go farther, I can put a 4 times in there.
Like a magnifier.
Be a magnifier for further distance.
Okay.
So for like tack, I will be having the 4 times in my bag for when I take that caribou shot.
Okay.
Just to give myself a little clarification farther. And if I wanted to, I could go up to a 6 times. And the lenses are only $100.
Okay.
So for me, that matters. For other people, it doesn't. The customization you get on Dialed, I like. You can swap almost everything out. From the housing to the fiber covers to the dial itself.
Like the graphics and stuff?
Everything. Okay. Color. If you have, if you wanted to go red and black, just like your bowstring, you could have a red and black sight entirely. If you had purple, you could get purple accents.
That's pretty cool.
I like the customization on it, so that way when I do change my strings or something like that, if I want to match, I can. I haven't. My complaint is like nitpicky shit. It's like I like the wind adjustment better on the Mathews. The fact that it's built into the dial.
It's inside the dial, yeah.
I don't have to reach around the front, unlock it, and then come to the side. However, that's just because I just wanted to be lazy there.
Would you say, to be fair to Dial, that you're not really worried about your windage as long as until you're on the range anyway?
Hell no. This is just sighting in bullshit nitpicky stuff that I just wanted to. If I had to complain, that's what I'm going to complain about.
Because normal person, and not that you're not, but your windage is pretty much, you should be set before you go hunting or something. Yeah. No, you're not touching any of this out in the woods. At all. At that point, you're unless something catastrophic.
Yeah. At that point, you're just using your bubble and adjusting and aiming based on that.
Okay.
That's just nitpicky stuff.
That's fair.
I do like if you're one of those people, this is completely made in the USA. They make that known. They give you an American flag on the top of your dial. I went to Shrewd Archery. It's exactly where I got this set up. And they're the ones who manufacture 90% of the parts for Dialed. They CNC everything there in Salem, Virginia. So knowing where it's made, I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
But again, that doesn't take anything away from people who buy things that aren't American made. You do what's best for you. The price point for me out the door from Shrewd, I think I was at $570 for tax.
Okay.
And that was before my military discount.
Okay.
So do with that as you wish.
Cool. So you say you're pretty happy with the Dialed PRÜF?
I'm not changing it.
Okay.
Not anytime soon. Not unless I get my hands on an axle driver after tack.
So would you say that this is potentially going to be your sight for the rest of the season and the year?
Unless I get my hands on an axle driver and it blows me out of the water, I'm running this.
All right.
I'm not swapping.
Sounds good. All right, so moving on over to this bow right here. I'm running the Mathews UV Bridge Lock Slider, the collab that they did. Cameron, tell these folks a little bit how these two companies merged together to make this site.
So Mathews last year when they came out with the lift, they went to 4 different companies. If I'm not mistaken, it was Dialed, UltraView, Axle, and I want to say it was Spot Hog or it was a different one. And they said, we want to make a site for the lift. UltraView got the contract, and they said, hey, this is what we're coming up with. So they worked hand in hand with Mathews to build this specifically for the lift.
Disclaimer, that might not be entirely true, but that's just kind of what Cameron, you read? You kind of figured out?
I was watching the videos with MFJJ and talking to the guys.
All right.
That's what they said.
Okay. So it might actually be true.
Take half everything I say with a grain of salt.
That's true. It's written in mud and it's raining outside.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. I'm running this one on my Lift X because we had it and it was $700, so it made sense not to run it, or did not make. It was stupid not to run it.
Yeah.
So I'm running it. I came from the CBE, the Trek Pro. I love that site. I didn't really have any complaints, but for the sake of the channel, switched. I will be running this site through TAC and probably through deer season, unless, like Cameron said, I get a Excel driver, because I really like the way that thing looks, especially that you can get it in gray, because shell gray, whatever. I don't really have a whole lot of complaints on this site other than its price point. $699, which we checked 10-20 minutes before we made this video. It's still a lot of money, and there's no military discount, which is important to us. I know a lot of people, it's not American made, their parts are made from China or something. I get it. I just don't give a shit. I'm not disagreeing with anyone that does, you know, I can't support it, it's not American made. I get it, I really do. I'm American made, he's American made, I get it. I just don't. Last time I checked, the animals you shoot with your bow didn't give a shit the country of origin that the site that helped put the arrow through their heart and lungs came from. So I don't. And then, yeah, not a whole lot of complaints other than the price point. The dial is smooth on it. They do have this little latch down mechanism, like it's a little bit smoother, and then you lock it down, you can still move it. I mean, it doesn't really do much, but I get why it's on there. The optic itself, the little dot, is a 0.15 diameter, which is kind of an odd diameter. I don't hate it. Don't have a reason not to like it, I guess. It just doesn't really bother me. I do like the ability to control the light to turn the optic on, as far as, what do you want to call it, the pin, to make it light up. I like that it's not like on a solar panel type thing, you know what I mean? Kind of like Dialed has the ability to open it and it lights up and close it, turn it off. I like having the button to do that.
If you're in one of the states where you can't use the light, you can't swap it out. They do give you that ability to take the light off.
Yep. And speaking of taking things on and off, when Cameron first bought this site, it was a 3-pin?
5-pin.
5-pin, yeah, that's right. It was a 5-pin cartridge. They come out with the swappable cartridges on sale. Even that was a little bit expensive. I think that was $150. I bought it, took it out. You literally just release the set screw on the side and then pop the cartridge out and pop it back in. The cartridge is plastic. The housing itself is a metal, it's aluminum. Excuse me, so do with that as you will. The cartridges, they are plastic. Yeah, I don't have really anything to say that I don't like the site. I do love it. I'll tell you the same thing I told Cameron. I think we're getting to a point to where they're all going to eventually be priced the same, they're all going to be batting in the same ballpark. Yeah. Does that mean you have to go out and spend that much money? No, but when you put a company like Mathews and UltraView together, they're going to make their money back. And if you're watching this video, then you know who UltraView is, and no disrespect to those guys over there, they make great stuff, but they are pricey. I mean, when you get a pack of 6 arrows that are over $200, like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like I said, it's kind of one of those gray areas. No disrespect to UltraView.
Here's what I'll say when it comes to that. Like, when you buy UltraView, you know you're buying a premium product. Like, it's like buying an iPhone.
Yeah.
Like, you know you're going to pay the price. Is it going to be worth the price? That's comparable. Like, some people may like Samsung a little bit better.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know what you're paying for. Like, the button's $300-$400, like, for the stainless steel one.
It's a good release.
Do I absolutely love this button? Yeah. But does that mean that for other people, like John's Spot Hog, is that necessarily the way he needs to go. No, he can spend the $160, $170 and do just fine. Just understand that when you do end up, if you want to pick up a Mathews, the bridge lock, you're going to pay that Mathews UltraView
Price
name
tag.
tax.
Yeah, yep.
And it could be worth it to you.
And let me say this, and it's not, I don't know, I don't want to get on this, you know, this soapbox. It's just, money seems to be the equalizer among people in the boat community. You either want to spend it or you don't. That seems to be what drives people right down the middle. More so than the brands, you know, Hoyt, Mathews, boats, blah, blah, blah. It's the price point. I think we can all agree that the bows, whether it is Hoyt, Mathews, Bowtech, they're all about the same price. They're all pretty much right there. At some point, they each have a bow that's around the same price point. These companies that make sights, they're starting to become the same. And it's the same thing I think we said in the last video, or maybe a couple videos ago. If you're into archery and you've been in archery for a while, you've known that since the early days to where we are now, 2025, archery's slowly starting to become the Gucci AR build company, where everything is pricey. Everything comes with a price point. I don't know. Not that that's a wrong thing to do. Not that that's not right. It's just the way it is.
And be understanding, you don't have to do that.
Right.
It's if you want to do that.
Exactly.
I can go buy a Palmetto State Armory AR and build it for a couple $100. Or I can go and build out a Gucci AR system and have a Night Force scope and a nice bolt carrier group and everything.
And I think it's the same thing that we talked about with, you know, Mr. Tyson Yates from Easton. We talked about the 5.0. All this stuff is made very well. It doesn't matter which company you go to a point. And depending on your archery level, your skills, you might ask yourself, would I spend $3,000 on a bow setup, or would I spend $1,000 if I'm not going to see the measurables? If that makes sense. If you're not going to notice that much of a difference, or if you're just a pick up a bow and go hunt type of guy, this might not be for you. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what we're at. Like, the price point might not make sense for you unless you're in this world where this is all you do. Me and Cameron shoot our bows maybe once a weekend, if not more.
I shoot 4 days a week.
Yeah, and that's I'm saying once a weekend at the minimum. Sometimes, like he said, we do shoot more than that. We are out at the range. I mean, this has become our hobby, our world, our lives. This is what we do. So, not to get too far off topic, which I feel like we already did. I don't have any complaints with this sight whatsoever. It's compact. It's close to the riser. You can kind of tell in the video that the sight does not even stick out that far past the limb pocket where the limbs meet the riser. So it's really compact. It's really close. I really enjoy it. Really, just my only con would be just the price point. That's it. And you can ask Cameron yourself. Between the two of us, I don't have any problem spending money whatsoever. But there are certain things when I start to feel like I can spend $500, $700, and I'm going to get the same result. Why do it? That's kind of my only gripe. But I get it. Your company, Mathews is a great company, UltraView is a great company. They both got to make their money back.
MFJJ said the same thing. This is the most expensive sight of the year. However, is it worth it? That's personal.
That's up to you. So yeah, this is a review of the Dialed PRÜF sight. Cameron loves it. Mathews UltraView Bridge Lock Slider Thingamabob. It's a long name. I love it. Just don't like the price point.
That's it.
Later, guys.
Later.